Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bargain Gaming. This episode will be dedicated to samurai creation because they are your basic building block in your empire. And so we need to do this. We need to have good starting. We need to have good samurais. Especially uh, when you are when you want to play your own clan, like in this case what we did, if we want to play our own clan, it is it is important to have good starting officers. Reason being that there will most of Japan at that time have, or the daimyos at that time, a lot of the stronger daimyos have three or four fortresses and one castle that they control, and if we situate our fortress, our initial starting location, not too far from any of the, and it's very hard to find one that's far enough that they will not come and knock on our doors. So it's important to have good starting, strong officers, so that when they do come knocking on our doors, we can kick them back out. So if there is, like, yeah, there will be many daimyos within your vicinity that has three or four strongholds, and they can just swamp you if you have average samurais. So my recommendation, and what I did when we did our playthrough tutorial, was that I created four family lines, and I broke them down into three generations. The first generation would be in their 33 or 35, based on what scenario you are going to play. And then the second generation is where I have my is where we had our daimyo, the second generation. And then the third generation will be the kids of the second generation. So the first generation, and the difference between the first generation, or between generations, has to be a minimum of 16 years. So the first generation has to be around in their 33, at least 33. So, and then the second generation, where our daimyo started, would be 16, and then the third generation will be their kids. So that's how I had this the lines set up. The reason I did at least three generations is because this game is long, and there are so many castles to take over. So it makes sense to have kids coming of age consistently with each passing year. Okay, so with that background, let's start with the first samurai. So face can be male, female. There are a lot of portraits. L1 and R1 allows you to navigate laterally, so you can have females. So these are additional portraits, and if those are not enough, you can use the in-game fortress in games 4, 3, 2, and 1. So literally, you have unlimited, or more than enough. Plus, you can create up to 300 samurais. So they did provide us with all the faces that we need. So let's say we start with a daimyo or a fighter level. Say a daimyo level character. Or just fighter. Okay, I will press OK, and we'll give him a name. It's based on the Lee line. And then let's say, since he is the test character, we'll call him Testy. Testy. Okay. And confirm. D-pad to navigate up and down. D-pad, press X, confirm. And so we get face and name and birth. Now birth, he's a male, so we can use females, but then we have to make sure that the portrait is a female. And then D-pad again to navigate. Then we can make him patient, planner, brave. Let's say brave because he's definitely a fighter. And down officer. This is my first generation, Jingye. So that will be the pop. And so the four lines that I was talking about, make them related to each other so that it will minimize the problem of lack of loyalty, low loyalty issues. In personality, you can be conservative, progressive, or neutral. I prefer neutral because Japan, the old guards wanted to keep their old ways, and then the progressives really embrace the introduction of muskets and new technologies. I'll just go neutral and hopefully, uh, because conservative samurais have a better affinity with conservative daimyos, and same for the progressives. Neutral, not as much, but they don't hate you as much either. So and then you can go for clan talent, whatever. In this case, I go for clan, so that means my samurais are very clan conscious. And this third button, this is the required loyalty for of your samurais to their daimyos. So in this case, it can range up to 15. The issue with this is that the maximum loyalty a samurai can have is 20. And for a samurai to be totally loyal to you, you will see their picture portrait will be blue. They have to be 5 points above the required loyalty. Anything below that, up to the level of required loyalty of 8, in this case 8. So between 5, that's 13 to 8, their color will be yellow or orange. And an orange guy means they will be people can try to pirate them. People can try to continue to lower their loyalty towards you, or entice them with gifts, so that they don't participate in a battle. Even when you send them out, they will just walk away. So 8 is a good number for your officers because although it takes a minimum of 13 for them to be solidly blue in your favor, so that they cannot be enticed away by other daimyos. Anything lower than that, you can put it at 1, so they're very easy to please, or they're solidly in the blue. But whenever you send your samurais out to fight, they might be captured. They might lose a battle, and they might be captured. So if their required loyalty is 1, then they can be easily employed by that other daimyo. So it's easy for you and it's easy for others. So in my case, I would recommend 8. And then tier is the kind of the quality of this. They're ranked from S is number 1 is the best, and then down all the way to C. So I'll just get S. So they're high quality samurais. Now tactics. Each samurai can have only one tactic, and some of these tactics are so D is a shortcut because these tactics has a certain level. The beginning list, are not as good as the ones at the bottom. So if you use the up arrow on the D-pad, it brings you to the lowest part of the list. And these are where the really great tactics are. Since each samurai is only allowed 1, I would recommend for coming towards the lower part of the list to pick your tactics. Anyway, let's go back. So we picked this one, Cunning Fox. That's very good for fighter guy. And then there are other tactics here that are also good. And they can be good for fighters and for support guy, like this absolute strategy. It weakens the enemy's attack and seals their movement, so they can't move. Or Bondbreaker and the Cunning Fox are similar, but I think the lower Cunning Fox has a stronger impact, or it's a stronger tactic. And something like Rage here. So it cures surrounding confusion effects. So in fact, if you're sending, because we can send out up to maximum of 3 generals in each army. So the lead general can be the fighter guy, and then the second and the third can be support guys. And the support guys are usually my development guys. So the fighters, I have two classes, the fighters and then the support or development guys. In the fighter families, of the four families lines I created, two lines are fighter oriented and two lines are development oriented. So the development guys can play the support general roles. And when you pick up samurais already that are part of the game, a lot of them also have those both either of those tactics, and you can use them. So the adjutant general, since you're given two positions, you can have two of them. So you can be more comfortable because you have more choices rather. So cunning fox would be, since this is a fighter, I will give him this one. And then lifespan. Lifespan determines what the age is depending on what scenario you are playing. The first scenario is the tutorial, and then the real first scenario is the birth of Nobunaga. So the starting year will be 1534. So at 1519, my second generation fighter will be 16 years old. So he is now considered an adult. So generational differences has got to be 16 years apart. So the first generation, I put all of them at 1500. So they are definitely 19 years older than my second generation. And then, so if your first generation are born at 1500, and your second generation are born at 1519, then your starting samurais, you at the start of the game in the scenario of birth of Nobunaga, you will have 8 strong samurais. Like I said, it's important to have 8 strong samurais, your starting samurais, because you will be surrounded by daimyos that have 2, 3, 4 fortresses and castles. And if you're weak, they will just come and jump on you. And so having those 8 strong characters you will be able to fend for yourselves right at the start of the game. So if the rest of the, like even going down to the third generation, if you want to vary all of those guys, that's fine. Make them weaker, or it's up to you. It's up to you. So I will make him this second generation fighter, age 16, by the year 1534. Down arrow, this is the lifespan. I will make him the max. The max is 110. I will always go for 110 because, like I said, this is a very long game. Confirm. And then the final item is condition. Press X and then go down to down D-pad settings. X, just turn them into Ronins, so that in all the other scenarios, this character will be considered a Ronin. 0 to go out, down to confirm, X, okay? Now condition, use the R1 button to go to the other page. Oh, sorry, back to L1 button, back to the condition. Okay, you're right, oh, sorry. R1 to go to the other side. So this one says that this pre-generated character has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pre-generated attributes. By pressing abilities, now for a fighter, the leadership and valor are the 2 key stats. Intelligence to a certain extent, so that he's not easily confused by the opposing general. But the intelligence and politics are primarily the principal stats for our development samurais, while the leadership and valor are the principal characteristics. So since this is a fighter, let's bring it up to 99. The maximum stats can go up to 120. So that means even at 100, they can still learn as they go. The more they fight, their stats will continue to grow up to 100, maximum of 120. And then on the intelligence level, let's give them maybe at least 90. Okay. And then on the politics, say 90. So they're not totally idiots either, so that they can help out in the domestic front. Growth type, this one is very important. So we saw already some pre-generated attributes. So by clicking yes, those will get wiped out. And then we can go down. So again, like these are specific traits. And this versatile on politics and versatile on intelligence, these are the two main traits I use for my development guys. And for the fighter, keep on going further down, and then you will see these are more fighter type. But then you hit the areas where specific strong characters, historical characters like Kenshin Wisugi. His profile would be an excellent for our fighter, or Nobunaga, or Nobuhide, who is the father of Nobunaga, but I prefer Shingen, so I will use Shingen. Oh, did I pass Shingen? I did. I think I passed Shingen. Motoharu. So those are pretty good. So those are, yeah. I don't think I passed Shingen. Okay, Shingen. And then, so Shingen now has like 9, 11 attributes. And you can go to settings, and they use to, now every samurai can have a maximum of 20 attributes or specific or special abilities. And so Shingen has 11. Now going down to settings and pressing X will give us the list. So these with the circles, they're all these agility, blitz, and swift are the same. So there with circles indicates that Shingen already has this particular ability. So if we press X on swift, the yellow bar on top goes up. So the 11 white bars represent the pre-acquired abilities of Shingen. Again, these abilities go from mediocre at the top, and at the bottom are the really S. Again, say S is the very best, then A, B, C, D. So these are mediocre at the top, and then using the D pad, press up, and we go to the bottom. So like Furikanzen, this is a Takeda unique ability. So when we choose this, pressing X, so Shingen already has this. So it becomes the white turns into yellow. So like I said, each samurai has a maximum of 20 slots. So Shingen has already filled up 11 slots. And the Scheme Master, this is fantastic, because if you can confuse the enemy, they will go away, or they become they will not be hitting you. And so, what better tactic for that? Now, Glorious Warrior, One-Eyed Dragon, this is fantastic. These are all S. So I would recommend that for a fighter. So let's go up and find out. And then, okay, then the Field Master. See, Shingen has this too. So let's just pick this and keep going up from the S quality. We're going up to the A's and B's now. And Assault Master, he is something he already has also. So these three are all the same, better, higher quality. So Siege Master is better than Assault Master is better than Siege Master, and Siege Master is better than Siege. So Shingen has this. This one is very important because each army has only 120 days worth of provisions, and without provisions, you cannot do long siege work or barricades. And Fleetfoot is another major item because again ties in with logistics experts. Again, Shingen already has this. So Shingen is, and Tiger is what Shingen already has. Ogre is nice, and excuse me, and Red Cavalry As again, Sinjin already has this. Civil Defender. I would recommend all your samurais have this specific trait. And then this expert fortifier should be maybe allocate 3 or 4 of your developers to have this trait. This trait is the one that allows, excuse me, your samurais to create castle-type fortresses or build castle-type fortresses. Now, Swindler is a good trait, definitely for a daimyo, and I would recommend 3 or 4 of your other samurais to have this so that you can warehouse them in that particular fortress or castle. Now these are other. Oh, so Shinjan has this. Now this is these types. These other emissary earthwork. These are primarily for developers and charismatic. Charismatic because either as a castle lord or you want as castle lord. So your special samurai should be charismatic. They will be one day. All of them will be castle lords. Again, Shinjan has this. Desperation, he has it. And he has Swift. So there are 2 more traits that this fighter can have. And so I'd rather pick them right at the bottom. Now, God of War is something that Kenshin has. And then Glorious Warrior is a great benefit also. So let's pick that. And let's put the God of War. I don't know what Nobunaga's ambition has, but it doesn't explain it very clearly. So let's put it God of War. So now we have filled up the whole 20 slots for special abilities. So press X on confirm, and we have those. So if you use the D-pad to go down, so it tells you that's a tier B. Desperation tier B. Golden Touch is a tier D. So not for good for a fighter, but it's good for a developer. Ogre is a tier A. Assault Master is tier A. Now these are like Scheme Master, Glorious Warrior. These are tier S. So they're very, very, very powerful. So this is a very powerful fighter. And all the way down, and we can press X to confirm. And down arrow, confirm. There, we have created one officer. He is way at the bottom. These are pre-generated ones. So here he is, Testy Lee. And R1, R2 cycles you back and left and right. So it shows that he is the son of Jingye. He's a male, youth, brave, born in 1519. So that's it. That's the Samurai Creations screen. So I hope you guys found this, all of you guys find this helpful. And please click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. And I had a great time playing with this character creation. It gets kind of a little tedious after a while. So you can create maybe a few, maybe 8 or 10 and start and play immediately. And then once you get the hang of the game, then you can come back and create some more. And then you will see, depending on how you play the game. So you can create as many as you want. Oh, by the way, so circle button gets us out of here. Then we have to go down to save. We got to make sure we save it. So I have created 185, 86, 185, no, 166 officers. There are a few more that were grayed out. They were inactive officers. So the ones I have created are the active officers. So make sure you press on this save so that what you created is actually saved. Then I guess that's it. Thank you for watching this channel, watching this episode. Hope to see you again. And bye.